Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we will be discussing the last of the new feats from Bigby Presents Glory of the Giants. This one is called Vigor of the Hill Giant.
I will say 2 out of 8 of these deserve the glory title, and the rest are kind of like, there's not a lot of glory happening with these giants. I get why the ordning happened and they can't get their god back, or whatever the lore is. This one, Vigor of the Hill Giants, prereq 4th level, requires the Strike of the Giants, the Hill Strike feat. So, like, you take the Hill Strike within the Strike of the Giants feat to get this. And that gives you, I think, the best one, which is on hit, you can, as a reaction number of times, equal your proficiency bonus, do a d6 bonus damage, and then it makes a save, and if it fails to save, it's knocked prone, which is good because you're a melee character. And then you just kind of like hit it with a bunch of times with advantage. And it's a really easy, cute
all your friends
tool.
come and hit it with advantage.
Yeah, everyone's kicking him while he's down. Everyone pulls out, like, this does the elbow drop, all that kind of stuff, right? So, okay, that's a good place to start. Best place for all these, I think it has the best one. And that's kind of where it stops. So you've manifested the resilience emblematic of Hill Giants, granting you the following benefits. You get ability score increase, so increase your strength counter whiz by 1 to a max of 20. Okay, that goes from odd to even. That's good. That's great. Great place to start. This just has to have something else that I can use regularly for me to justify taking this feat. Okay, this next ability I genuinely love conceptually. It's called Bulwark. When you are subjected to an effect that would move you at least 5 feet or give you the prone condition, you can use your reaction to stay yourself. You aren't moved and don't have the prone condition. I love this design space. It is super niche. This is something that you're going to use ones of times per campaign, like a handful. This will be like 3-4 times you get knocked prone and you go, nay. You would say, I'm too thick, I'm not moving. Something, collides into you, you're just an enormous entity that just takes it, doesn't scoot, and refuses to move. No ability score, or no ability check, no save. It just happens. I love that. That's sweet. But again, that'll happen like ones of times per campaign. So all we need for me to justify taking this feat at this point is something I can use regularly. Something that like actually gives me something to do on my character sheet. And what they give you is Iron Stomach. Whenever you eat food as part of a short rest and spend 1 or more hit dice to regain hit points, you regain additional hit points equal to your Constitution modifier plus your proficiency bonus. And that is all. And
I don't think that's as bad as you clearly seem to think it is. I mean, for people that regularly use their hit dice, I'm not one of those people.
Okay.
Perhaps I should be.
We talked about this when we talked about the durable feat. I highly recommend go watching that video. I think I do a decent job breaking down why hit dice mechanics are bad, generally. And this is one such example. Most characters have hit dice to refill their hit points from 0 to full once, right? On average, it'll be slightly lower than that because your hit dice are equal to your level plus your con mod, and because your starting hit points are a full dice as opposed to half a dice, which is the average of a dice roll, right? You're going to come very close to your max hit points each time. Now, whenever you take a short rest, you aren't always at 0, you aren't always at 1, you're not always at under half. You have enough dice to get you back to full at least 1 time, and that normally can happen consistently over 1 short rest, sometimes 2. If you're taking more than that is whenever you would start needing this kind of feature to give you a little bit more HP. Even at tables that are regularly running 2+ short rests per long rest, to then also have a feat exclusively dedicated to making your healing matter a little bit more in the 3rd one is not where you want to be. That means for 2 of the short rests, you have a feature that does close to nothing, because again, Bulwark isn't happening in most of your encounters, and that leaves you with this niche little healing tool to give you a little bit more hit points, like 6 to 8 more hit points per dice, and that only will matter if you would already have expended all of your existing hit dice to heal to full already. So you have to be needing to heal more than your max amount of HP, and that's just not a thing that the vast majority of tables will play with.
All right, that's where I think this has a little niche use. You are a hill giant after all. Oh no, you're not a hill giant. You have the vigor of a hill giant. You get angry. You go out and smash guys. You maybe people you got no business smashing because they're a lot bigger than you. You feel like a hill giant, but you're not. You're this little guy. He goes and picks on the big brutes, and he gets his ass handed to him time and time again. Needs that extra healing. He wants to use short rests a little more frequently. Wants to use less hit dice each time. Anything there?
No, wouldn't you
No.
just rather have the tough feat? Like, okay,
What?
I can read to you the text of durable. So it increases your con score by 1 to a max of 20, which is one of the options you have here. And if we're talking about the hit point bag, that's probably the one you're taking because you have like a 17 in con or whatever. And it says whenever you roll hit dice to regain hit points, the minimum number becomes twice your con mod, which is a little bit different than this, but gives you a little bit more consistent healing, where this gives you a little bit more max healing. This is probably better than durable, but barely. And we had nothing good to say about that. You were entirely on board with durable being close to useless, right?
I know, but I wasn't thinking in the mind of a hill giant.
Okay, if you are the kind of character that is actively engaging in so many fights on their own that are threatening all of your hit points consistently, how are you living into the next encounter? How are you living into the next adventure? You're just going to die.
I have an iron stomach.
So the rest of your party doesn't want to break for short rests, and maybe don't even have the opportunity to break for short rests. The rest of your party has to be engaged in those fights with you, those lethal fights with you already. And then we're still looking at a world where, like, you're using all of your hit dice over 2 short rests. Mm-hmm. Then we can finally get into the third one where you go, okay, now Iron Stomach is contributing, but it's not contributing to anyone else's hit points. And you also have to say, okay, if I took...
Well, they're all being smart, attacking from a distance and stuff. You're going in, what's his name? Leroy Jenkins. And getting in the fray where you shouldn't be.
Okay. What class are you? Probably Barbarian.
Probably, yeah.
They have resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, piercing damage. So they already have a giant pool of hit points. Tough doubles that up. And I don't think tough is a good feat. If you want to be the dummy thick, that's how you do it. But, like, I don't think I'll take 8 HP max to start with at a 4th level character over this every single time. And this has a prereq before that. You have to take something else before you can get access to this. Yeah. It's just not realistic, even in the most grueling, even in the circumstances where you're getting beaten up the most, that you're going to have 3 short rests. It just isn't going to happen at almost any table. Even the most lethal of tables aren't going to be running the 8 encounters it takes for 3 short rests to be justified. Right?
No, yeah, I mean, I'm never taking this, Sam. Don't worry. I'm trying to give something. Feel bad for the vigor of the hill giant.
I love Bulwark dearly.
Yeah, Bulwark's cool.
It's just not useful most of the time, and Iron Stomach is not useful ever.
You know what would have been, a little bit better, still not great? Give Iron Stomach. Give us poison resistance.
Stick it on there. Why not?
Yeah.
These have a prereq.
When I saw Iron Stomach, I assumed that's what it was going to be.
Yeah. Resistance to poison and something else. A toxic belch, perhaps, that makes the area poisonous around you. That'd be cute. That'd be very Hill Giant-y. That would be very comical. I think all of those elements make a good D&D kind of feature. It's one that's a little bit silly, has some good practical applications, gives you a niche that you can be cool in, that's like, oh, I am the Bulwark, I am unmovable, and in that moment, I will feel like the coolest character ever whenever everyone else is knocked back by the Gale Force winds and I stand my ground with just a reaction. That's going to be sweet, but you also have like a regularly usable ability that fits within the theme of these things. This doesn't. This doesn't have that last part that's really crucial to having a character feel like they're functional. A lot of features in this game are bad for new players, and they're the ones I find the most frustrating. I think this is one such example, where if you want to play a character that is the thickest they can be, that is like, I want to be the big dumb hill giant, I want the wand up my nose kind of doofus look. This is a feat that would speak to that kind of play pattern because of the names Iron Stomach and Bulwark. And because neither of them can see almost any use, a person's going to take this, they're going to invest into it, and then find it does nothing if they're inexperienced with this game, and there's a huge amount of frustration there. You just have 2 dead feats on your sheet. I guess 1 dead feat on your sheet, the other one's pretty good. But like 1 dead feat on your sheet is not ever where you should be whenever you're playing this game, whenever you're buying the most recent content.
No.
I hate these kinds of features. I hate them so much. Bad features are bad for the game, even if they're like, oh, just don't use it. Some people will. Some people don't have the wealth and depth of knowledge. They'll just take what the game tells them they should. And the game lies to them a lot. And this is one such case where it's lying to you about how you can play a specific character meaningfully.
All right. Well, are you giving this one a 1?
Yeah, this is a 1 out of 5. This is
Thought you
actually
might.
unusable.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna give it a 2. Generous 2. But
Is this better than durable?
I don't know. No. But
Is durable
well, I mean,
a 1?
all right. Yes. Yes, this is better than durable
It is
because the Iron Stomach is almost equal to durable, but then you get Bulwark, which, yeah, probably not going to come up a lot, but there is a lot of stuff in this game that can push you around. There's the Crusher feat. I think it depends on your DM. Maybe it'll be blowing you with gusts of wind and telekinetic or whatever. You know how much I like pushing things.
I do. I know how much you specifically like pushing things as a player with player-driven features, not
Right.
with monster features, not with monster abilities, not with classic monster spell lists, right?
I don't know. I think. All right, and here's another justification for the 2. The prereq feat, Hill Strike, isn't as terrible as some of the others. Like, I don't feel like I'm taking a crap feat to get another crap feat.
I definitely feel that way. I feel like I'm taking a reasonable feat to take a crap feat, which is not where I want to be.
No.
I just don't want to take the crap feat.
All right, so yeah, that's my justification for it too. Still not great. Yeah, Vigor of the Hill Giant isn't writing home to its parents and say, "Bob gave me a 2, hooray!" But I don't know.
Why is that's a prerequisite? This is supposed to be better than what came before it, I'd assume. But like, how's the scaling is supposed to? Yeah, this feat's garbage. And even if you can think it's too garbage, you still shouldn't put it in your sheet. And I would highly recommend people steer clear of it as often as possible. I think it will actively make you go, I can't believe my character doesn't have anything to do in this moment.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Vigor of the Hill Giant. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. Let us know what you think down in the comments, and we will see you next time. Oh, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming as well. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it, a gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description where you'll find my Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.